times before, to be too focused on changes that are occurring or will be occurring. So we discuss this mainly to give you some basic information in the hopes that you and others will be able to disconnect from engaging with hope and fear and the normal human habits of externalizing, that you will be able to disengage and focus upon your own path, because this is what matters now. As we have said so many times, one's ability to perceive, experience, understand, receive, give, everything depends on their level of vibration or consciousness. And that includes how one experiences and perceives and partakes of the upcoming profound changes. So this is the time to go within, focus on your own path, and of course this is your choice, but if we may say, to do your job as light workers and pave the way for the ascension of all beings. So we will discuss the developments to come in three basic areas very briefly: government, finance, and the participation of other ascended civilizations, Galactic Federation, and that sort of thing. Government changes began a while ago and are continuing. They are happening as we speak. For the most part, they are not yet visible or apparent to most people. They're quiet, they're behind the scenes, and these developments are still suppressed or ignored by most of the media. And we've discussed the whys and wherefores of that many times. So government changes, understand all of the changes, with a very rare exception, will be a process. Every effort is made to have gentle transition, subtle transition, so as not to engender fear and reaction from the world populace. So government changes could actually take up to a decade. Now, please understand, regarding every change we discuss, whether it's government, finance, participation by ascended civilizations, revaluation of currencies, all of these things are determined. Of course, there are many, many, many factors, but the primary factor is the free will of the collective consciousness. This is the governing energy of the planet. If not for your energy and the energy of light workers and that small percentage of humanity with free will asking for the help of ascended masters, the Galactic Federation, asking for ascension, it could never happen. And the same is true for all other changes. It's just that many of the other changes are of a third-dimensional nature, and so they will require a shift in mass consciousness to allow the energies necessary for the changes to manifest. And if you don't understand that, please ask when we open up for questions. So it is very difficult to call the timing right now. So when we do call timing, it is as of this moment. But understand, the moment of tomorrow could be different. So government change, the process of it could take up to a decade. It could take significantly less. It's very, very unlikely that it would ever take more than that. That's kind of the outside limit. And for those of higher vibration, you'll begin seeing fairly obvious changes fairly soon. In finance, the process is quicker for a number of reasons we've discussed many times. It's sort of at the leading edge of third dimensional manifestation of change. Changes in finance, the world of finance, are already proceeding, of course. They're happening again as we speak. And that process will likely pan out over the next 4 years. It could take up to 4 years before the profound shifts that everybody recognizes come into play. However, minor changes are already happening. So we will mention currency revaluation because, especially here in Sedona, so many light workers remain hooked into that in a way where there's still, even though they've tried to put it aside, in some cases there's still, their energies are still hooked in a little bit to those developments as hope for something, hope for financial security, hope for many things based on the development of external circumstances. As we've said so many times, and as you know, you all know this, your realities are created by you. Your abundance is created by you. No external development can affect the flow of abundance in your life. All these wonderful things could be happening tomorrow, and if one's vibration, level of consciousness is not sufficient, then your experience of that will be quite different from a being who is of higher vibration and has moved to a place where their flow of unconditional love and abundance, which is the same energy, is completely independent, if you will. That's an odd way to put it, we know, because we're all one. So, the dinar, and we understand recent news is in sharp contrast to what we're about to say. The dinar is pretty much where it's been for a long, long time. There's no significant movement. There's nothing on the horizon that looks as though the revaluation will be occurring in a way that will bring benefit to investors. Again, the cause and effect relationships that all of the analysts are looking at are simply surface. We've said this many times. The true determining energies most people simply are not aware of, including the free will of the mass collective. But in the case of the dinar, again, it's the same old story. The level of manipulation, corruption, clashing interests is still so profound that it's locked in place for now. The dong, which is the dinar, by the way, for those who don't know, is the Iraqi currency. The dong is the Vietnamese currency. Things are different with the dong. There is movement. There's more flow. There is a window of opportunity there's a karmic window of opportunity where things will be in place, parties involved, energies involved will, relatively speaking, be coming together in a cooperative mode. So there is a window of opportunity for revaluation of that currency in a beneficial way in November of this year. And if that doesn't, now there have been a number of windows that have opened karmically for this, and they haven't happened. And that's the way it is. As we've said, there are 7 billion, roughly speaking, free wills on the planet. plus a lot of free wills engaged in all of these things. So, but the nature of the flow of the dong, the energy around it is quite different than the dinar. And the karma is different. So, if that window is passed, as others have been, there will be other karmic windows of opportunity opening in 2017 and beyond. So the last major realm of change we'll discuss today is the participation of ascended civilizations and what's happening on Earth. Most of you know what the Galactic Federation is. Most of you know that there have been almost uncountable sightings around the globe of their craft. This again, they're making themselves visible to the masses, is again dependent on the energy, the free will energy of the collective consciousness. It needs to be at a certain level, a certain vibration for their, first of all, for their energy to actually enter the third dimension in an effective way. And also, it needs to be at a high enough vibration so that people respond in a higher vibration way. So, that will likely occur within the next couple of years. That also has already begun. And all of these things will move forward as fast as the vibration and the energy of the massed consciousness will allow. So, having covered the news, we will get on to our main message. Today we would like to speak to you about the importance, to the extent where it's become almost an imperative for light workers, to learn to and begin to consistently come from your heart and live from your heart. This is much more than simply a nice sounding way of a suggestion for living your life. Remember, everything is energy. Everything manifests, plays out as energy. When you begin coming from your heart, from a place of unconditional love, not from the brain, when you begin living that way, making your decisions that way, the energy of that, when you meditate from there, the higher vibration of that will lead to the opening of your higher heart chakra, your sacred heart chakra, which we've discussed many times. It's in the area of your thymus gland. And once your higher heart chakra is open and you begin functioning from that very high vibration, that will lead to you becoming and functioning from a place of true unconditional love. Now, we will do a separate channeling later sessions on the nature of unconditional love. Suffice to say, for the time being, it is an interdimensional creator energy of absolute love. And it is when you begin functioning from this level that your ascension process will truly begin in earnest. So you see the progression there. As we say, coming from your heart, deciding from your heart, loving from your heart chakra, which is your divine center, will create the higher vibration in you, the higher consciousness, for your higher heart chakra to open and truly function the way it's meant to function. There's a difference between a chakra blossoming and opening and its actual function. And all of you are at different stages on this. So it is your higher heart. Once you live from your heart, come from your heart in a consistent way, the opening of your higher heart will not only allow you to function from this place of unconditional love, but understand it is through your higher heart as well as your third eye. But today we'll just talk about your higher heart. It is through the energies generated through your higher heart, the unconditional love and other energies that will be your pathway to fifth dimensional consciousness. Without a higher heart chakra that is fully open and functioning in that pristine energy of absolute unconditional love, there will not be present the vibration, the frequency necessary to begin opening the way to fifth dimensional consciousness. So you see, all of this is actually quite practical. There's an energy aspect to it, which is, it's not essential to understand. One can do all this without understanding anything. If their heart is open, and they come from a place of absolute unconditional love to the best of their ability, they make their decisions, have their perceptions, their relationships based on an open, flowing, loving heart. No matter what they know or what they're aware of, this will cause, and these higher vibrations of today will cause their higher heart chakra to open. This energy of unconditional love is not really understood by many at all, even those on a higher spiritual path. It is the energy of all that is. It is the energy that allows experience, function across dimensions. It's the energy that will allow you to function as a multi-dimensional being with consciousness in fifth dimension and also existence in fourth and third. So we would encourage you to begin practicing coming from your heart. And we suggest that you do this, yes, of course, have the intent of walking out your front door in the morning and living every moment from a place of unconditional love and kindness and operating from this divine center. But most humans, of course, have a few thousand years of the habit of doing the opposite, which is using your brain, the third dimensional tool. So as with so many things, practice makes perfect. So we suggest practicing coming from your heart with identifiable issues and things. You have a decision to make. If you must, go ahead and think about it. But then sit down, spend whatever amount of time you like, a few quiet minutes, a few quiet moments, and go within. And as the brain kicks in, just let it go and go within. And call in your ascended masters and guides to help with the process. And this will look different for everyone. There's no right or wrong way to do it. We will tell you it does not entail the brain. It entails inner knowing, intuition. Understand, until you, at least to some degree, are living from your divine center, from your heart chakra, with intent to be in a place of unconditional love and oneness, it will be very difficult for us, ascended guides, ascended masters, angels, to give you guidance. Guidance will not come to your brain. So practice. Again, begin with decisions, begin with looking at relationships, begin with looking at anything. Because when you live and come from your heart, from this place of love, as your vibration rises, of course all the things we've just said will be occurring, but also your perceptions and understandings will change of everything. As you begin to perceive naturally from this place of inner knowing and higher vibration and unconditional love, you will begin understanding everything at a much higher level. And old ideas, old concepts, old hurts will simply fall away. This energy of unconditional love, that is the vehicle for ascension and for interdimensional activity, is also your vehicle for healing. Healing and change and transmutation of lower vibration does not occur on the third dimension. It occurs with violet flame. It occurs on the fourth dimension, the astral level. When one does violet flame, the energies, the lower vibrational energies, the key aspects of that are pulled up into the fourth dimension, where they can then be transmuted. The third dimension's too dense. We will discuss this in later channelings. When one uses the energy of unconditional love, this highest vibration, especially in conjunction with violet flame, it's quite different. The energies of the karma are pulled into the fifth dimension, and the emotions, the belief systems, the attachments, the agonies, the heartbreaks, the grief, these denser emotions fall away. And so transmutation occurs in a different way, by carrying these energies, the essence of them, to fifth dimension. So there's a lot going on here. And this step of learning to live from your heart, love from your heart, disengage the brain, is key. It's the beginning of everything we've just talked about here. So of course, call in your ascended guides to help. Always, always, always. We're here for you. And we will help. It's necessary, or at least very helpful, that you ask and call us in. As you know, ascended masters, the consciousness energy of that is one, as is everything. However, humans often find it helpful to call on particular ascended masters. And here, we invite you first to call on whomever you're comfortable with. We will tell you that the energy of Divine Mother, which is so profound and so basic, is the energy, of course, of unconditional love, this highest vibration we've been talking about. It's so pervasive, of course, that there is, as you know, there is a representation, embodiment, deity of Divine Mother in virtually every single culture and religion on the planet. And you're familiar with most of them: the Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Tara. This Divine Mother energy, a rather poetic way of saying it, is this energy of Divine Mother is the heartbeat of the Ascended Masters. And someday you will see it is the heartbeat of you. So please call us in as you engage in this process, which is so very important right now for you. So that is our message for today. We will take questions, if anyone has questions.
I have a question, please.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned calling in the Ascended Masters. Is it important to call in an Ascended Master by name, or can we just call in the Ascended Masters in general like that?
Yeah, you can call in general. It's a little... So, that's the short answer to the question. You can just call Ascended Masters. Some people have a special connection with one particular Ascended Master or other, and it just feels nice, and natural, and even habitual, because some of these connections go back lifetimes. So it is fine to call on one or several, and know that when you call one, you call them all. It can't be any other way. And the Ascended Masters are presented to you the way we are, because especially back in the old days, the pre-ascension process days, or mass ascension process days, the human mind kind of demanded that kind of categorization and individuality, and they made special connection with Mother Mary or Jesus or one of the many Buddhas or one of the many Hindu deities. So basically it's what feels right. Just know that when you call one, you call them all. Same with angels and archangels. They're all one. Some people have very profound connections based on many things, their own ideas, but also past karmic connections with archangels. Know that when you call an archangel, you call the energies, you call the help of all angels, archangels, and ascended masters. At that level of existence, of ascension, all that exists is each moment of infinite possibility and absolute love. So, it's different up there. But please call us in. We can be of great help.
How?
Well, the short answer is with everything. So, we will help clear the way for whatever you are engaged in. There are many examples. If you wish to begin living from your heart and loving from your heart and coming from that place of inner knowing and intuition and oneness with the divine and with all that is, when you sit down to do your practice, as we have suggested, of looking at various things and engaging with various things consciously from that place, call us in and we will help clear the way. We will help with your focus, with your understanding. We will help raise your vibration. We will help clear away the cumbersome third-dimensional energies from your heart chakra. We will work with you when you're not even aware of it to help move the space to a higher vibration and help keep obstacles, karmic obstacles, from arising to get in the way. You are a free will being, so all you need do is ask. We can help you manifest what you would consider third-dimensional ordinary things. We can help you manifest abundance and move beyond poverty consciousness into that flow of unconditional love and abundance so you can create abundance in your life. This is what we want, especially those who are really keyed in to reaping the benefit of the changes to come. And we know we're like a broken record with this. Your only abundance, the only abundance that's possible for you individually to experience, is the abundance that you create the space for, that you create. If you need an apartment or a house, sit down in meditation, picture it, call us in, ask us to clear the way and manifest it, and then believe in it. Cast your fate to the higher dimensions where stuff really happens, the fifth dimension and beyond. And we'll handle it there because we have your intent, your consistent intent. So we can help with everything. We can help you find a job. Everything's the path. We can help you bring meaningful love into your life.
Can you talk a little bit more about the higher heart chakra?
Yes. So this is, we've discussed, there are many new chakras that are being awakened from their sleep or atrophied state. Many people actually refer to them as new chakras. There are 4 primary ones we've covered many times, so we will just cover it extremely briefly. There's 2 in the head, 1 at the pituitary gland, back of the skull, called the well of dreams. There is higher heart and lower heart chakra, above and below the heart chakra. These are all new and they have many functions. The higher heart chakra, the area of the thymus gland, is the one usually the first to begin opening in light workers and people of higher vibration, and this is for many reasons. Its function, first of all, is necessary, but it's also the first to respond to a being moving into higher vibration and higher awareness. And some of the energies, the primary energies necessary for the opening of this chakra actually came in around 2010 and 2011, 2012. So some light workers have had an open, functioning higher heart chakra for years. Others, it's just starting. It's all vibration, all energy. So, as we said, this higher heart chakra, a real key to its opening and functioning is to begin coming from, on a consistent basis, your center for unconditional love, kind of your divine center, for want of a better way of putting it. As you begin loving, coming from a place of love, as you begin functioning from intuition and just the inner knowing that comes from here, and beginning to disengage your brain as a primary factor in how you lead your life, this all by itself will lead to a higher vibration. It has a ripple effect. Each time you consciously sit down and say, okay, I'm going to look at this thing, this situation, this decision from my heart and actively engage in that, each time you do that, each single time, your consciousness, your vibration, your frequency will rise. And there's a ripple effect here. It immediately affects your higher heart chakra. It's like a resonance. Ever increasing higher resonance comes up to your higher heart chakra, and it begins to blossom and awaken and function. And as we said, your higher heart chakra is key to just about everything that will be part of your ascension process. Your initial experiences, your initial what will probably be fragmentary, very momentary experiences of fifth dimensional consciousness will occur primarily through the energies of your higher heart chakra, those higher vibrations, as well as your third eye, and also the new chakras in your head. And functioning from your higher heart will lead you to a vibration which truly none of you have experienced for a very, very, very long time, which is the energy of absolute, pristine, highest vibrational, unconditional love, the energy of Creator, the energy of God, the energy of One. And it is from that space, from that energy, that truly your path to ascension, your path to absolute knowing and awareness will open. And it all starts here. Are there any more questions? Very well. Please know that our love for you is ceaseless and absolute. Each day, we honor your divine nature. We prostrate to it. We uphold it. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.